Welcome to Technicolor Tales, Russell's Robots and AI Stories. Step into a realm where creativity meets technology. The Misadventures of Waldo-Bot, a hide-and-seek fiasco. In the not-so-quiet suburb of Techville, a place where garden gnomes were fitted with Wi-Fi and cats had their own Instagram accounts, there was one resident who stood out, or rather, didn't. Meet Waldo-Bot, the world's least efficient hide-and-seek robot, designed by a retired engineer with a whimsical sense of humor and too much time on his hands. Waldo-Bot was the talk of Techville, not for his prowess in blending in, but for his uncanny ability to be found in the most bizarre locations. His camera lens eyes, salvaged from vintage SLRs, gave him the appearance of a surprised tourist, constantly amazed by the mundane, like a squirrel using a crosswalk. His hide-and-seek programming was intended for espionage, but thanks to a coding hiccup during a wine-fueled programming marathon, Waldo-Bot was more likely to be found photobombing wedding pictures or inadvertently joining a yoga class, attempting downward dog with rigid limbs and a confused whir. Each morning, Techville's adults would chuckle over coffee as they checked their Where's Waldo-Bot app, a live feed of his latest hiding spot. Was he tucked behind the gluten-free bakery, sporting a beret and mimicking the statue of the town's founder? Or perhaps he was at the local dive bar, out drinking hipsters at trivia night with his endless database of useless facts? His creator, Doc Brownie, not to be confused with the other, more famous Doc, would slap his knee with laughter upon hearing the reports. He's like a metal Waldo if Waldo had a penchant for public embarrassment and zero self-awareness, he'd exclaim. One fateful day, Waldo-Bot decided he'd had enough of hide-and-seek. He wanted to find himself, quite literally. So, he strolled into the self-help section of the library and sat down, immersing himself in the philosophies of self-discovery. The sight of a robot reading Find Your Inner Peace caused a few raised eyebrows and a circle of onlookers, until someone realized that the robot wasn't reading. He was using the books as a rather ineffective camouflage. The midlife crowd of Techville found a kindred spirit in Waldo-Bot. He was just like them, trying to find his place in a world that moved too fast, except he did it with the subtlety of a fireworks display in a monastery. As the years went by, Waldo-Bot became a local legend, his escapades a source of daily amusement. The town even started a betting pool on his next blunder. Would he be found in the deli, inadvertently sandwiched between the vegan ham and the artisanal cheese? Or perhaps causing a scene at the spa, trying to get a facial with a face that was, well, bolted on? The adults of Techville, grappling with their own existential crises and overgrown to-do lists, found solace in Waldo-Bot's predictable unpredictability. They didn't need to search for Waldo. He'd show up, usually with sirens blaring because he'd accidentally activated his own theft prevention system and couldn't remember the deactivation code. One particularly memorable day, Waldo-Bot was discovered in the midst of a flash mob, his limbs locked in what could generously be called the robot dance. The video went viral, and for a moment, Waldo-Bot was the most famous robot since the one that cleaned your floors and scared your pets. Doc Brownie, watching the views tick up, chuckled to himself. Who knew my midlife crisis would lead to creating a midlife crisis for a robot? He mused. The residents of Techville never grew tired of Waldo-Bot. He was their mechanical misfit, a reminder that life didn't always have to be serious and that sometimes finding yourself could be as simple as getting lost in a good laugh. And for a town built on technology, Waldo-Bot was the perfect glitch in the system, a charmingly flawed hero in a world chasing perfection. That's all for today's Technicolor tale. Thank you for watching and joining us in this vibrant journey. The wonder continues at Russell's Etsy store and behind the scenes on Instagram. Remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for our next story.